A few years ago, I did a lesson on triplet gallops that a lot of people really enjoyed. It's a great way to spice up your metal rhythm parts, but there's a whole other set of gallop rhythms I haven't covered, and that's compound meter gallops, so let's get into it. If you want a deeper primer into the traditional heavy metal gallop, you can check out my triplet gallop lesson, but I'll cover the basics here. The traditional gallop is an eighth note followed by 2 16th notes, and this would most often happen in 4/4. There's also the reverse gallop where the 16th notes are first. These basic gallops are done in simple meter. Now, simple meter has 2 notes per beat, so 4/4, 3/4, 7/4, really anything that has 2 notes in each beat. And the triplet gallops I covered in my other lesson are also done in simple meter, but there's a lot of music that's written in compound meter. Compound meter has 3 notes per beat, 12/8 being the most common compound meter. 12/8 has 4 beats that are 3/8 notes long apiece. Six 8 is also a very common compound meter. 6/8 has 2 beats that are 3/8 notes long. Here's straight 8th notes in 12/8. Just like in 4/4, we can replace an 8th note with 2 16th notes to get a gallop rhythm, but because now there are 3 notes per beat instead of 2, there are more places we can put in these 16th notes. There are 3 types of these compound meter gallops, the first being the bleed gallop. This is also called the Herter rhythm, most famously used in the song Bleed by Meshuggah. This is 2 16th notes followed by 2 8th notes. Now this can be done with different note values, for example 16th notes and 32nd notes, but here we'll keep it to the 16th notes and 8th notes. In the song Bleed, this is done against a 4/4 backbeat, so it cycles around the beat in a really cool way, but this rhythm fits perfectly into one compound beat in 12/8. This lesson is more about how I use these rhythms from a compositional perspective, but I'll talk really quick about how I pick these. Usually I'll down pick the 8th notes, and I'll alternate pick the 16th notes. So for the bleed rhythm, I would go down, up, down. And I can get that going pretty quick. If it gets any faster than that, I'll do what they actually do in the song Bleed, and that would be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I'm alternate picking the 8th notes as well, because Bleed is pretty quick. The second compound meter gallop is this. I call this one the traditional compound gallop because I hear it more often than the others. We have an 8th note, then 2 16th notes, and then another 8th note. Really nice sound. There's a lot of energy in this one. Of course, I could also combine these first 2 compound gallop types together. Now we're getting into ways I would actually use these rhythms, and I could mix some straight 8th note beats in as well. The last compound meter gallop is this. This one I call the pickup gallop because it feels like a pickup into the next beat. This is the one I hear the least often, but it's very useful, especially mixed with the other gallops. Here's a couple of combinations of all 3 of these. So there's the 3 different types of compound gallops, but because compound beats have 3 notes instead of 2 like in simple meter, I could replace 2 of the 8th notes with 16th notes instead of just 1. These have less of a gallop vibe, but they're still really cool. One last idea is to play traditional simple meter gallops over top of a compound meter. This gives some extra syncopation, and it mixes really well with the compound gallops. To show some of these in action, I want to take a look at this little piece I put together a few years back. This is all in 12/8, so it's the perfect example to show how these work in context. In this first riff, I have the traditional and bleed compound gallops back to back in these open low strings. In this crazy two-handed whammy bar riff, there's all kinds of different gallops. The same gallop from the first riff. A bunch of single traditional compound gallops. As well as some gallops with rests in the front. And this riff at the end has a bunch of gallops. This has traditional compound gallops, the bleed gallop, and some of those traditional simple meter gallops over top of the 12/8. There's also some straight 8th notes and 16th notes here as well. Just like with traditional heavy metal gallops in simple meter, I use these to add extra energy and aggression to riffs that are in compound meter. I love writing in 12/8 and 6/8 and 15/8 and 18/8, and these rhythms are incredibly useful. You can actually do gallop rhythms in weird odd time signatures by combining the simple meter gallops and the compound meter gallops together. I might do a lesson on that in the future if people are interested. Please let me know. But if you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe, hit the bell notification, like, comment, share, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, stay proggy.